Footbap Nation!
Let's ride.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Fantasy Footbaps podcast. I'm Brandon, joined by my co-host Paul. Say what up.
What up, fellas?
All right, big week in fantasy. 3 huge weeks ahead of the start of the playoffs, and things are getting kind of crazy. Some teams are pulling away. Paul, historical ass. You ready to get on into this, Paul?
Yeah, I can't wait.
All right, let's start off first with the biggest matchup of the week, which was me versus Mike. How does that sound, Paul?
Sounds wonderful.
All right, so final score 109-96. I beat Mike. For reference, me and Mike were both 5-5 going into this game. Both like tied. I mean, basically tied for the 7th spot. So for anyone that doesn't remember, 7 teams make the playoffs. 1 team gets a bye. So me and Mike were literally in the last spot, both at 5-5. A couple big games in a row for me because last week me and Dave. I'm sorry, Paul. It's just I'm used to Paul being in this situation with me, but being a playoff team with me. But last week me and Dave were both 4-5, and that was a huge win to send Dave to 4-6, me to 5-5, and now it was me 5-5 against Mike 5-5. I win barely. Why did Darrell Henderson get cut? Why is he a free agent? I think he got cut. I think he got cut. Wait, I gotta look this up.
That's hilarious.
I looked at. I didn't see it. I didn't see a team. Okay, this is breaking. That's Scoot Henderson. All right, I need Darrell Henderson. I just looked up Henderson on Twitter and Scoot Henderson pops up. McVay said the Rams will try to get Darrell Henderson back on the practice squad after cutting him this week. Yeah, they waived Darrell Henderson.
After his historic day.
I know. So it started off, I was feeling pretty good going into this because I knew I had good matchups. So like Tank Dell and Ayuk, like they had really, really good matchups. So I was feeling good about them. And like, even though Pollard hadn't scored a touchdown in so long, I kind of thought he'd score a touchdown against Carolina. So I was feeling pretty good this week. Mike had Burrow get injured in the game against Baltimore, but he still put up 9 points before, so it still wasn't like over. I guess let's go over. Let's because I just realized I have someone that I didn't have last week. Let's go over the moves that were made since last week's podcast real quick. So last week I think we left off telling you guys that Kyle traded Brock Purdy to Ryan, and then I forgot to go over the waiver moves that happened that Wednesday. We're not going to forget that. If I forget that, Paul, that's on you also.
All right. Yep.
But last week, because this is huge. Paul added Ty Chandler for $18. Kyle, this is major now because I know some moves that happened since then. Kyle added Josh Dobbs for $8. I added the Dolphins defense for $4. Didn't mean to spend that much, but I'm not like too upset about it. I think they got me 13 points. Dave added Romeo Dobbs. Dave added Ryan's guy. Chip added the Vikings defense. I added Jake Elliott back. Ryan added the Jaguars defense. Let's see. Paul added Tyler Conklin. Paul added the Patriots defense. And then should we leave it there or go through everything? Yeah, let's go through up until like Sunday. All right, let's do that. And then it looks like Dewey added Patty Ice, Pat Freiermuth. Did he do anything? No, 1.2 points. Dude, Patty Ice was big for me last year. Like he was good for me in fantasy last year. Kind of crazy. He just sucks this year. Let's see. So then Nick added Cade Otton and dropped Johnny Smith and Derek Carr. Austin added Jason Myers. Kyle added a defense. So a bunch of defenses and kickers and shit. Mike added Kene Nwagangwu. And then this was big. So I traded Amari Cooper to Dave for CJ Stroud because I was worried about like Herbert not having like people to throw to, and the Green Bay defense hadn't given up more than like 18 points all season. And like every game but one, that 18 pointer, they'd given up like 13 or less. So I was like, I'd rather start Stroud against the Cardinals. Plus, like I had Tank Dell, so I wanted them to be together, which worked out for me in the first half. But we'll get to that. I also added Rico Dowdle just in case Tony Pollard got injured. I also added Rondale Moore because Garrett Wilson was like not going to play, and then I was going to put Rondale Moore in at like Garrett Wilson played at 4:00, so I was going to put Rondale Moore in, but then I was like, no, I just let's roll with Garrett. Hopefully he gets out there and plays, and then Rondale Moore caught a 50-yard touchdown in the first play, and I was like, hey, well, it's all right. I just need Garrett Wilson to do something. For anyone that's wondering, Garrett Wilson got negative 0.1 points for me. Dave added the Giants defense. And that was Sunday's moves. We'll get to everything else after. So that's why CJ Stroud's in my lineup, 15 points. CJ had like 17.98 points at halftime and ended with 15. He threw 3 picks randomly, like out of nowhere. Were you watching that game, Paul, or no?
No. I was at the Browns game.
So yeah, that's true. He basically, CJ would like, they got the ball in the second half, he would throw for like 50 yards, get into field goal range or like in the red zone, and then he'd throw a pick, and he did it 3 different times. So he had the 17 points, like he threw down, got to 20, threw a pick, threw like brought them down again, threw a pick down to 17, and then like another pick down to 15. So like I kept being like thinking that he was going to get, he could have realistically scored 30 points if he just, if you replace those interceptions with touchdowns. Like it was pretty brutal to watch, on top of the fact that Justin Herbert turned into prime Michael Vick and ran for 80 yards. Let's see. 73 yards. I thought it was 82. Ran for 73 yards. Yeah, so I was kind of freaking out a little bit because I was like, oh my God, if it comes down to starting Stroud over Herbert, like it looked so good in the first half when Stroud had 17 and Herbert had like 10, and then everything kind of fell apart. But at that point, I wasn't even really worried. I started getting worried when, because I was up 98 to like 73, and then all of a sudden, Darrell Henderson fucking gets 11 points in the fourth quarter alone. You can't check his stats. Is that because he like got cut? I guess. Okay. Long story short. He had 6 carries for 1 yard and a touchdown, and 4 catches for 28 yards in the fourth quarter, with one of them being a 14-yard catch. So like he didn't do shit and got 11 points. I think he must have ran for a 2-point conversion. I don't know. He got 11 points in the fourth quarter. And so I was like, God damn it. But I'm still like, all right, I'm still up 98 to, at that point, now it's like 84. And then it was someone else someone else did something in the fourth quarter of their game. Why am I forgetting who it was? Whatever it was, like regardless, like all my guys stopped doing shit. Garrett Wilson didn't score a single point in that 4:00 game. And then Alexander Madison was in the middle of a legacy game, and then he fumbled and kind of like didn't play after that. And so luckily I got out with a win. It was close. It shouldn't have been close, but I mean, I got a dub, so I can't really complain. The only thing I will complain about is that like I keep scoring like 100 to 110 points, and every week it's with like one guy doing fucking terrible. So like I just want 1 week where I score like 130. Like is that too much to ask for? Just 1 week, please.
This is the week. This is it.
I don't think so. I don't think I have as good. Last week probably should have been the week. I had so many good matchups. Paul plays Steve. Steve wins 99 to 94. Paul, what happened in this game?
Well, it was actually close. I don't know if it was you last week. I don't know. Maybe it was Ryan telling me. Did you actually say Steve was the guaranteed win or not? I can't remember.
I don't know if I would have guaranteed him a win against you, but maybe.
What was the line? Look at that line though. It was 28. Is that what that maths out to? 108, 91.
Where are the projections even at?
Total projections right there. Yeah. You just had
what?
It. Yeah.
Really? You were only projected 81? I don't even remember that. That's crazy.
But anyway, it was close pretty much the whole Sunday, then Monday. So going into Monday night, I think it was like 60-40% Steve was going to win. all he just needed was Devontae Smith to not have a piss class, and that's very possible. So
Yeah.
it's I did actually feel good about it. But he did have an actual decent game. He's been doing well, I guess, recently.
Mhm.
But up until literally the fourth quarter with 8 minutes left, I was winning. It was looking great. It was his lowest scoring game. That bad weather, all that shit was happening. Then
Yeah.
he caught that like 40-yard bomb, and that made him win. So, of course, it comes down Monday night. Shit, fucking 40-yard pass makes me lose, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
So
I had a like similar. That was what happened to me against Nick when I lost. Now, obviously, his defense got 31 points, but Steve's defense got 23 points, so that's equal, like pretty
classic.
close. Yeah.
Yep.
But I had on my Monday night, he had Jamar Chase, and I don't know if you remember, but I was up like 4.5, whatever. I was up by like a good amount, and then Jamar Chase caught like a 55-yard catch or something, and that's how Nick even went up by 1 point. Didn't catch another pass after that, and I was like, oh my fucking. So I was like similar to what happened with you. It's like one fucking pass, and then you think
Yep.
that you're safe, and you're like, as long as they don't do this one thing, and then they do it, it sucks.
Yeah, I was watching on my phone in bed. That's typically how it goes. Like I usually watch every Monday night game or whatever
I
just
don't
for
watch
fun.
if I don't watch if someone else has a player in and I don't.
Yeah, I'm too addicted. I can't pass it up. And this was a good game too. I was
Well,
gonna watch it other way, but
I try not to watch it because when I watch it, bad things happen, and that goes for when I turned on the Bengals game and Jamar caught that 50-yard pass, but also when I was up by like 20 against Chip and the Seahawks were in the red zone. Austin was streaming the game, and I was like, I'll watch it. If the Giants score a touchdown here, like, they'll get like -4 points, and then, I beat Chip. And that's when Daniel Jones threw a pick six on the 1 yard line, and then that's when it unraveled. He got sacked 8 times in the next like 2 drives and lost by 1. That's why I try not to watch, because it all falls apart. I wasn't watching the Vikings game on Sunday night, I think it was, because I was like, I know I was following along on my phone, seeing Madison like popping off, but like, dude, I feel like it's just not good for my mental health to like watch someone else's player go off on a Monday night on me. Like,
yeah,
it sucks.
I kind of expected it to happen though, so I wasn't like too upset. But
Yeah.
still, it kind of sucks. I thought like he had one last season ruined in, but Steve's team is already in, so I mean it didn't really matter. But another
Yeah.
great thing to point out on my team, shout out to Ryan. He well, besides Calvin Ridley, I'll first talk about. He is back officially. He had his greatest game of the season. I think it's because Zay Jones came back. That's my guess.
Yeah.
So they don't have to like pay much attention. I mean, they let Christian Kirk do his shit, but now with Zay Jones out there, I guess they take pressure off Ridley, so it allowed him to do well. And Tennessee's pass defense is garbage, so that
Yeah.
helped too. But
Mhm.
yeah, he's back. He's officially the greatest wide receiver in the league. So if anyone wants to trade for him, I don't know if the trade deadline already passed, but feel free to reach out to me. I'm willing to give him away. Not Jerry Judy though. What I was going to mention, Ryan talked me into starting Jerry Judy because before the Sunday night game, it wasn't looking good because Hawkinson projected a lot, Javonte projected a lot. They underperformed. So it kind of got me back into it. But before that game started, it was looking really bad. So Ryan was like, just throw Judy in. Fuck it. It's funny. So I was like, yeah, dude. Might as well bench Addison and throw Judy in. This will be great. And he actually outscored Addison. So it was a good call by Ryan. If I ended up winning by 3 points, that would have been huge.
Yeah,
So-
no, that shout out to Ryan. I mean, look, Ryan just knows what he's doing, man. He was trying to help. He was trying to help you out. That is fucking hilarious. And Judy did you see the play where he fake threw it down the field on the screen? Yeah,
You sent me that.
He knew that you started him, and he was like, I can't let Paul down again, dude. I got to put up at least 8.3 fantasy
Speaking
points.
of letting me down, though, Marquise Brown.
Yeah,
with Kyler back, he's got 3 points and 2 points. So I'm kind of confused.
4 targets and 5
whatever.
targets too. They're like, he's like not throwing to him. I don't really know what's
I don't
going
understand. I really don't get it because I think I mentioned last week that he averaged like 15 or so when Kyler was playing with him last year. So we'll see if it gets back on track. But I fucking doubt it.
I think that it'll get back on track for one reason and one reason only. Spoiler alert: me and Paul play this week, so I know he's about. Wait, let's check. Let's look on StatMuse. Let's see. Marquise Brown Game
is
log
this website?
versus Rams. You can just ask questions. So Marquise Brown in 4 games against the Rams, he had a 42-yarder with 2 touchdowns.
Oh,
so basically, he's either going to suck or put up like
17 targets.
Yeah,
Crazy.
he's either going to suck or he's going to put up like 22 points for you. So not
All
looking
right.
good for me.
That's good to know.
Yeah. And it looks
also,
like that looked like every other game too. So he's actually, now we're on the good game part, because it was good game, bad game, good game, bad game. Now another good game should be coming.
Yeah.
Is that all you had to say? I thought you had something else.
I was gonna say something and I kind of forgot. Oh, can we live install AdBlock on your computer? Can we do that?
No. we got a podcast to record.
All right. We just got ads going. They're getting free revenue.
Yeah, but yeah, Paul almost takes down Steve. To be fair, though, Kenneth Walker did get hurt. I think it was pretty early. Let's see how many carries he had before he got hurt. 4 and a catch. Yeah. Either way, could have been a huge upset, but Paul's looking to upset this week. What is fantasy chat? What is this? Oh, these are just like my. Let's see. Oh, here's Paul.
Yeah, I don't know. It just does.
These are your trade proposals to me.
Yeah, look at that.
You give me Alexander Addison and Russell Wilson, and I give you Justin Herbert and Tony Pollard.
This is definitely real.
Can I do more than one? Oh shit. Wait. Who else can here? Let's go to Dave. I hope Dave sees this. Who else can I message? Oh, Ryan. What the fuck? I messaged Ryan on October 12th and said dead to me, and he never responded. What else can we send here? Let's go to stickers. What should we send? You mad, bro?
Yeah. Does it say bust? You gotta send the bust.
It just says bust. I just messaged this man Ryan saying bust. Who else should I message that to? I can't. Why do I only have like 4 people on here?
I think it's because of trade offers or something.
That's funny as fuck. Bust. Obviously, we know that means like a player bust, but I like thinking of it. I like thinking of busting a nut. Next game, massive upset. Did we call Paul Dewey as upset this week? We might have, because he had like a. Remember, I said that Dewey's team like isn't bad now. His team's like good, so we might have called him an upset.
We definitely called out the line, because that is not accurate. I mean,
no, the line was actually only 99 to 95. But either way, Dewey wins 117 to 99. I think that's Dewey's best game of the year. But Dewey's like. I mean, he got Kyler Murray. Gus Edwards been awesome. He got Saquon from Paul. I don't think he's going to get 28 points from Saquon every week. Devontae Adams is like basically back. I mean, all it took was Devontae Adams getting traded from Chip's team to get 12 and 18 points. Not Paul. Dalton Kincaid did good. Dude, Dewey started 2 tight ends. He fucking won, dude. What a boss. That's insane. Awesome. Why? Oh, I guess he had a lot of bye week. Oh no, I think maybe we said Chip was going to win because Dewey had byes, because he had Brian Robinson and Ramondre on bye, so it was looking like bleak. But I mean, a good upset win from Dewey. Achane got hurt for Chip. Waddle keeps not doing anything. Like I think Waddle's a bust at this point, right? Like he's just this was Chip's 2nd round pick. If he was like a 4th round pick,
the fact that he was going like 2nd round is nuts.
Yeah, so. That's crazy. Did you see the clip of Austin Eckler like running down the sideline?
No, is he slow?
Yeah,
he just always gets chased down.
Well, no, dude, no way. He This is a TikTok. All right, let's see. Do I really have to watch how slow he goes? Look.
You can see No, so Eckler's. I just see every like open field fucking run he has. He just always gets caught.
No, dude,
So
against the
cool.
Browns, he had like an 80-yard touchdown run. Remember, like 2 years ago, he
Well,
fucking.
yeah, 2 years ago. I'm thinking recent.
Oh yeah, this year he's just been slow. Like his rushing numbers are ass. Like it doesn't matter because he's gonna score like twice a game most games and catch 5 passes. But yeah, like 6.4, 3.5, 3.4, 1.9, 3.2, 1.9. Like he's just, I don't know, man. He hasn't, like I said, doesn't matter because he's good in fantasy and that's all that matters. But I think like next year he might be like washed. I don't really know. I did like that TikTok had a song in the background. It was so quiet I couldn't hear, but they put some kind of fucking music behind that. Yeah, I mean, Dubag. I think Dubag got Tyler Lockett from Chip and Devontae Adams from Chip and Jake Ferguson from Chip. Who else did he get from Chip? Ramondre. Ramondre was on a bye. Yeah, for anyone that's wondering, Chip's worst players this week were Eckler and Achane, and Waddle. The only 3 players that have been on his team the entire season. The only guys on Chip's team doing anything, Lamar got from Paul. DK Metcalf got from Paul. George Kittle got from Dewey. Brian Robinson got from Paul. Like I was very confident. Like earlier before Chip got those trades from Dewey and Paul, I remember thinking like, man, Chip is gonna miss the playoffs. Like, and Paul, you saved his fucking season, like, because Dewey and Chip's trade was like equal enough that like I wouldn't say anyone like won that. Like Chip fucking won your trade. You saved his fucking season, dude. Imagine if what guys did he give you? Addison and Madison, dude. Can you imagine? DK got him 18 points. Brian Robinson 17. Like you are gonna be the reason Chip makes the playoffs. Chip was going to miss the playoffs. That team was bad before that trade.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I could help, but yeah, it's kind of fucked up because I originally did call him at 5-0. I said he's gonna lose out or miss the playoffs or something. Him or Austin.
Yeah.
And if I didn't give him those players, he would have lost 6 in a row now.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Oh, you're right. He would have lost 6 in a row. Yeah, and it wouldn't even be that he lost 6 in a row. Like, so he would have lost 6 in a row, but also he would have like 50 less points because those guys, Brian Robinson got like 27 last week and DK got like 18 last week. Now they got 18. Are you like outside?
Me? No. Oh, my mom's cleaning dishes upstairs. I'm surprised you can hear that.
So DK got 18 this week, Brian Robinson 17. So like think about how little Addison and Madison have scored. Plus they had a bye week. Like Chip would have like 60 less points at least, maybe like 70. I'm just trying to do the math in my head like real quick, like 70-ish, 70, 80, 60 less points, like, which would be a huge deal because then if that happened, I would be winning the tiebreaker over Chip. But regardless, like you said, he'd also be 5-6. Like Chip, you saved Chip's season. You're not the season ruiner. You're, at least for Chip, you were the season saver for Chip, dude.
I'm glad I could help.
I like that we're hyping Chip up. He did lose to Dewey, so that does suck for Chip. But I think I think he's pretty set in the playoffs, unless he has like a crazy schedule. I don't know what his schedule is, but Dewey, congrats on the win. Shout out to Dewey for doing the right thing. He actually went out, built a winning team. He didn't pull a Paul and just start trading players away because he was mad at them and wanted his binky.
No. I think he tried to do the same thing. His trades just worked out. Mine did.
Yeah, maybe, honestly. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. Kyle loses to Austin. Major upset. I think me and you, our guarantee was Kyle winning this week.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
Yeah,
because remember, Austin had like Jeff. Why did we do that? Is it just because Austin's team looks like shit, dude? He's 8-3. Dude, I'm just looking at his lineup. This is crazy.
If Jalen Warren didn't have that breakaway touchdown, he would have lost.
Was just about to say that. If he didn't have a 75-yard touchdown, Austin would have lost. This is disgusting. This is what I'm talking about when I look at these games. Austin gets 22 points, 17, 15, and then no one else in double digits and wins. How the fuck, man? I gotta look at his schedule. I just want to look at and not like his. I just want to see like how many points he's winning games with. He's winning with 95, 90, 104, 92, 94, 84. God, that's like Mike. Remember Mike? Was it last year that Mike won all those games?
Mike luck.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy, man. Kyle losing is huge, but basically CD didn't score 30, Dak didn't score 30, Jahmyr Gibbs still scored 19, so he did good.
Diggs had
And
a
Diggs
shit
had
game
a shit
too.
game. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. But I would say more often than not, Kyle is gonna get 30 points from like three players, just the way
Yeah.
things have been like going. But yeah, that's a
Ryan
huge
also scammed
upset.
Kyle. He scammed Kyle with Evan Ingram.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, because Ryan got Purdy for Ingram, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's and then that was just was that a 1 week that no, Evan Ingram is Kyle's tight end of the future. Like he's gonna that is his guy unless a trade happened. I'm not I
I
can't
don't know.
remember if a trade happened that he traded for a tight end. Um but yeah, man, that's crazy. The craziest thing about it too that I was thinking of, which would have benefited me, I was shocked that he started, and I know Aaron Jones got hurt at some point in the game, but I couldn't believe he sat James Cook and started Aaron Jones like after I know that James Cook had like a rough like stretch here, but like he is the guy on their team, and the Jets, like, you beat them on the ground. Their run defense is putrid. I know the Chargers defense is putrid all around, but their pass defense is just so bad. I don't know. Who would you have for reference, if you don't have Aaron Jones? This is what he's done this year. Who would you have started, James Cook or Aaron Jones?
I hate Aaron Jones. The Packers suck so bad, so I
That's
definitely would have done.
that's exactly what I'm saying. It's because the Packers are so bad and Aaron Jones has done so bad. I have Aaron Jones in my work league. It sucks. I wish I would have drafted like anyone. I got Aaron Jones for cheap, only like 25 to 30 bucks for reference. Like CMC went for like 70. So like 30 bucks for a running back that you would think would be like an RB2 is like pretty solid. Like so I thought I was getting like a good price on him. Now it's like, man, I wish I spent 30 bucks on any of those other RB2s, even like Brees Hall at this point. Like Aaron Jones has sucked so bad. Um, where would Kyle be without Jahmyr Gibbs? Imagine Jahmyr Gibbs didn't pan out. Holy hell. Um,
Yeah.
but Kyle, it's nothing. It would have benefited me if Kyle beat Austin, because Austin's one of the lower scorers in our league. So Austin would only be one game ahead, and I could win a tiebreaker if it came down with it to it. But Austin wins. He's 8-3, and he's basically locked in the playoffs. And Kyle scored so many points that I would say at 7-4, he's locked into the playoffs regardless. Um, big win here for Ryan. Ryan beats Gorman by 30. Um, have have the wheels fallen off for Gorman here a little bit, because I feel like he's lost a couple games. So last week
Yeah.
he scored 66. This week he scores 77, loses by 30 to Ryan. Ryan, huge win. Ryan should have a spot locked up. Now, don't get me wrong. At 7-4, Gorman should be safe. Same with
Yeah.
Ryan at 7-4. Huge win for Ryan because he could be 6-5. He still would have tiebreakers, so we'd be fine. But like, is Gorman? I think there are some trades that have happened that would have changed my opinion anyways on this. But I'm starting to see the cracks in the armor here for Gorman. I see a washed up Derrick Henry.
Mark Andrews died also.
Yep, I see a washed up Derrick Henry. I see Mark Andrews got hurt. AJ Brown going back to his usual ways of potentially, because obviously he had a ton of good games in a row, but like I've had AJ Brown does this a lot where he's pretty hit or miss most times. Debo sucks. Brees Hall had 15.8 points. Didn't even really realize that. But he doesn't have a quarterback really. Like it's Goff. Like Michael Thomas is out for the year. Huge blow for him. Adam Thielen isn't scoring 30 points anymore. Martavis is just sitting there. He has Devin Singletary though. Okay,
Yeah.
Gorman can
Singletary's
make
not
some
bad.
moves. We'll see what
Yeah.
when
We'll see
we
what his
check.
lineup's looking like.
Yeah, we'll see. Should we just check it right now? I mean, just to give an honest, I don't know if I'll forget later on. This
He
week
hasn't fucked with it.
he hasn't. So he picked up Isaiah Likely. He'll have him in. I think his team's looking all right. Like AJ Brown should be good. Yeah. My main thing is Derrick Henry. Would it be crazy to say Brees Hall over Derrick Henry and then like Debo
No.
over Henry? Oh no, he's Carolina. Derrick Henry plays Carolina, so he'll be good with Derrick Henry this week at least. regardless, though, big win for Ryan, 7-4. Gorman and Ryan both 7-4 should be pretty locked in. If I had to say, we'll go over the standings and stuff later. Ryan gets a 0 bomb from Gabe Davis, a Gabe Davis classic. Ryan was saying last night when I was talking to him, he was like, "Yeah, man, I felt pretty shitty about Gabe Davis getting 0 points, and then I looked and saw that Garrett Wilson got you negative points." I was like, "Yeah, dude, it's fucking brutal." Jerome Ford keeps doing it, although I will say, like obviously against Baltimore, Jerome Ford was good, but this is what Jerome Ford does. He sucks ass and then I guess scores a touchdown, or if he doesn't score a touchdown, he catches like 5 passes, he gets 10 points. It's unbelievable. Keenan Allen did his thing, dropped 2 touchdown passes though. That was crazy. Josh Allen didn't have a piss class against the Jets. That's big. Yeah, Gorman just has 2 piss classes in a row, but I'm sure he'll get back on track. Is there anything I missed there, though? Is that a fair analysis?
Yeah, fair assessment.
100% agree with the assessment. And now on to the last game of the week. This was a fucking crazy one for anyone paying attention. Going into Monday night, again, this is so funny. So going into Monday night, Dave and Nick were basically tied. It was like 70 to 69.7 or something like that. And all they had left was Dave had Jalen Hurts, Nick had Patrick Mahomes. So it was just a battle of the QBs. Now going into it, I'm pretty sure all of us were like, yeah, Jalen Hurts is going to do better, right? But it was the fourth quarter or at least late third, mid third, and Nick was up 83 to 70. Like Jalen Hurts didn't have a point. And so it was like, man, if Patrick Mahomes just like gets one more touchdown drive, like Nick's gonna like win this, which would be crazy for Dave. That'd be the difference between 4 and 7 and having to like win out just to have a chance, in 5 and 6 and actually having a chance. But Jalen Hurts rushes for 2 touchdowns late in the game, throws for a good amount of yards. Dave ends up winning by 3, and just a massive win. I mean, feel bad for Nick because he did all he could, right? Like he nothing more the man could have done. But yeah, Dave sneaks out a real lucky victory there.
Yeah, I was gonna say if Valdez Shitling actually caught that 40-yard bomb from Mahomes in the fourth, he would have won. So it's just,
if Valdez Scantling caught that pass, Dave's got to thank his lucky stars. If Valdez Scantling caught that pass, Dave's season would probably be over. 4 and 7. Right. Like, can you really come back from that? Like, would have to happen. Maybe a 7 and 7 team gets in. I don't know. I'm not sure like how things are going to shape up. But when we look at the standings, we'll know more. But huge win from Dave. Really unlucky from Nick. Man, if this was me, and now Nick's 2 and 9, so it doesn't matter. But if like Nick was a playoff team and that happened, I would be so beside myself. I would, for the next week, I would be complaining about Valdez Shitling. Like I would be, man, that is so fucking bad. But yeah, Dave wins. This is, like I said, what teams keep doing all year. 26 points from Hill, 19 from Hurts, 14 from Hopkins, nothing from anyone else, and you somehow have 89 points. Like, I don't know how the fuck it happens, but it happens. Big win for Dave. Let's go over the standings real quick. Look at this. Oh my God, does this look good, Paul? Little carne asada?
Yeah. Stop tempting me.
How does this ad look? Is this ad making you want to spend your hard-earned cash on some Chipotle right now?
That's a good ad. I respect that one.
Let's see what these other ads are. I don't like any of these. I don't scroll this low to even notice the ads, to be honest. I didn't realize there were this many ads. What the fuck? Blue has your back. Ohio weather girl named most beautiful. Oh, man. All right.
Wow.
Yeah, these are some good ads. Checking out the standings. First place in the East, Austin 8-3. Second place in the East, Gorman 7-4. Third place in the East, Chip 6-5. Fourth place in the East, me 6-5. Nick 2-9 in fifth place, and wow, Paul last place in the East at 2-9. It's crazy to see Nick like above you. Like it just doesn't feel real, and by a lot too, by 70 points. It's not close. God damn it! The worst part is just that I have to play you this week. I just know you're just not going to lose all the rest of your games. That's what sucks so bad. In the West, Steve first place 8-3. Second place Kyle 7-4. Third place Ryan 7-4, fourth place Dave 5-6, fifth place Mike 5-6, Dewey in sixth place 3-8. And I just want to point out, even though Mike is 5-6, they only have an 8% chance to make the playoffs, which seems absurd. I feel like that should be like 40. Dave's at 42.
Yeah.
8 doesn't even
disrespecting
make
Mike.
sense. Yeah, do they think Mike's just gonna lose the rest of his games? That's crazy. I would love to see, what if the like final standing projections have Dewey over Mike? That'd be funny as fuck. I can't wait to look at those. Highest score right now is Kyle, yeah. All basically in the last few weeks. Like, I think I was talking to Chip and I was like, Jahmyr Gibbs, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott basically went from 3 of the biggest busts in fantasy to the 3 best players at their positions for the last like 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Like how crazy is that? They went from, like, if you drafted them, your season, like, your team's probably fucked because like those were the worst picks like that you could have made at those rounds, to like they're the best players in at their position for the last 3 weeks. Unreal for Kyle. So all the damage being done in the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So Kyle is highest score. Paul's lowest score. Most scored on is Ryan. So most scored on is Dave. Least scored on is Ryan by 110
That's
points.
so crazy.
That's actually fucked, man. I'm back to think how far we've come. That, remember, I was up there at like second or third highest scored, and now that I had like back to back. I want to look at my schedule because I know for the last like 4 weeks I haven't really had much scoring on me. Yeah, like you just have back to back 60, 77 on you, and like that dropped mine, and then even a 78 here that dropped my points against like so much. So yeah, look at these division records.
Damn, Chip.
Chip is 5-0 in the division. That is fucked. I'm 1-4 in the division. Dave's 1-4. You and Dewey are 0-5. Dewey's won all his games out of the division. That's pretty impressive. Best home record is Kyle at 5-1. He has a massive home field advantage. Nick is 0-5 at home. Nick's 2 wins are on the road.
Mike 1-5.
Why are you saying anything? You're 1-5. Wait a second. Mike's a road warrior. Mike's a road warrior. So Mike is 1-5 at home and 4-1 on the road. What the fuck? Mike is an absolute road monster. So yeah, Mike has the best road record. Chip has a really good road record. Chip's only 2-4. Oh yeah, Dave's a home warrior. Dave's a home warrior. He's not a road dog. He's a home warrior. 4-1 at home, 1-5 on the road. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Chip being 4-1 on the road is also pretty crazy. Longest streak right now. Okay, this is amazing. How have we not put 2 and 2 together? Dewey has won 3 straight games. Dewey's won 3 straight games, man.
Yeah,
that's fucking. I forgot that he was 0-8. Like, for some reason, it didn't even cross my mind. Dewey was 0-8. He's now 3-8. Like I said it a few weeks ago. I was like, I think his team's actually good. It's coming true. Dewey's team's actually good. I have the longest win streak at 4 wins. Nick has by far the longest lose streak at 6 games right now. Paul after at 3. Most moves made on the year is Paul. Second most is Kyle, and then it gets to like me, Mike, and Chip, and then yeah, it's Ryan hasn't made that many moves, and that might have to do with the fact that he's refusing to spend money on players. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So Austin had a 99% chance to make the playoffs. Steve 99%. Look at, I said Gorman, the wheels could be falling off. They only have him at 93% despite being 7-4. Meanwhile, Kyle and Ryan are at 96% at the same record. Like, it's getting kind of crazy. Let's check out the playoff bracket real quick. I think Steve was number 1 last week. I might be wrong about that. So Steve with the number 1 bye, and the fact that Steve has a 1-game lead and by far more points than Austin, who is also 8-3. Like, Austin's down here. So Austin does have more points than Mike. I didn't realize that. But as long as Steve keeps winning, if Steve and Austin have the same record, he's got nothing to worry about. He's got that number 1 seed. So Steve's got the number 1 seed pretty held down right now. He just has to hope Kyle doesn't win too much. Maybe Ryan, I think, is close in points. So Steve, number 1 seed and a bye week. Ooh, this would be crazy. So Austin's the number 2 seed. If the season ended today, it'd be Austin versus me in the first round. That'd be insane. Brothers in the playoffs. That's awesome. The 3 versus 6 matchup is Kyle 3 seed, Chip 6 seed, a cross country matchup.
I like
that's amazing. And then the 4-5 Gorman versus Ryan is.
Yeah.
I think that's also a good matchup. That's wow,
I hope
man.
it ends up like this.
Yeah, this is actually a really good playoff picture. Like finally, it's been weeks of us having no like headlining games in the playoffs. Like it's been like, oh, Kyle versus, I don't know, Gorman, Chip versus Austin or something. Like it hasn't been like anything crazy. This would be pretty sweet. And then yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. So in the consolation bracket, Paul again has a first round bye for being the worst team. Record wise, I guess points wise too. The 11-10 matchup would also be a brotherly matchup, Dewey versus Nick, although Dewey is rapidly climbing. And then the 9-8 matchup would be Mike versus Dave. Like this is, so I understand these are loser bracket games, but if we're going by just like the story,
these are all good.
These are all storybook like matchups. 2 brother matchup, Dave on Mike, Kyle on Chip. Like this would be, that's nice. Let's check the trade voting. I wonder what that is. Let's check the projected final standings. Steve projected to finish first. I thought that this was Pinhead Singletary projected to finish second, and I was like, what do they know? Austin projected to finish second. I don't think there's any really nothing there crazy. I might say Kyle projected second because he just has to tie Austin's record and he'd have the higher seed. But as of right now, they have Kyle at 3, Ryan at 4. Have to agree with that. Gorman at 5. Yeah, I think Gorman for a second there, I think Gorman was up at like 2 or 3. So the fall off there has been pretty massive. Chip projected to finish 6th. I'm projected to finish 7th. Dave 8th. Mike 9th. Dewey 10th. Dewey is for. Oh wait, we knew that. It was. Yeah. We knew. Was Dewey ahead of Nick last week? Yeah, I feel like he was.
I think it was actually.
Yeah, so Dewey 10th, man. Props to fucking Dewey, dude.
Yeah, he came back.
Nick 11th and Paul 12th. Were you 12th last week? I think you might have been.
Yeah, I've been 12th.
It's crazy to see like since draft day to current day, seeing Nick dropped 9 spots is pretty crazy. Steve went up 7 spots. I wish there was a way to just look week to week, but it only shows like draft day versus current day presented by Snickers. So if I had ad block, would it say presented by Snickers?
I don't know. I'm not sure. As you're going, I'm gonna open it up on my side.
Yeah, let us know that. We got to take a look at that. So let's look at the recent activity now. So where we ended off last time was just what happened on Sunday, which was Dave adding Giants defense. There have been trades since then. Tuesday, big trade. Mike.
Also, Snickers is there for me. So
Okay.
Not an ad, I guess.
So big trade on Tuesday. Biggest trade on Tuesday. So the voting must be still for that trade. I thought there might have been a new trade, but Mike trades Amon-Ra St. Brown, a top 5 wide receiver, Mike's best player by a mile on his team, and Keaton Mitchell for Josh Dobbs and Mike Evans. Paul, do you have any thoughts on that trade?
Well, in my opinion, I feel as if it's just Mike Evans for Amon-Ra because Josh Dobbs and Keaton Mitchell's nothing. Dobbs is just a pickup off the waivers from last week or so. So yeah, I mean, Mike could have just got a quarterback off the waivers and then traded maybe DJ Moore for someone that he needs. Who the fuck knows?
For reference, in a Discord call on Friday, Paul, I can't remember if you were in there, but Ryan offered Mike Purdy for DJ Moore, and it sounded like that deal was like a done deal. And then Tuesday came around and that deal did not get done. Instead, Mike parts with his best player, and the quarterback he gets is Josh Dobbs. Kind of crazy too, because I think Purdy threw like basically a perfect game on Sunday. He might have scored like 30 fantasy points.
Yeah, he did really well.
I'd have to look, but I feel the same way as you. Anything can happen because I can't say, I'm not going to sit here and say like Josh Dobbs sucks or something, right? Because I don't think that, because he's done well in fantasy. Like Is this Josh Dobbs? Why do they not have his previous games? So they don't have Josh Dobbs' previous games from the Cardinals on here. What is this Tank Dell? Why does it even say a Tank Dell? Dude, okay, Josh Dobbs' ESPN profile is fucked. But since Josh Dobbs has been on the Vikings, 25, 25, and 16, and the thing that scares me about that is that he has a rushing touchdown in each one of those, and like 60 yards, 40 yards rushing. Like, it just takes one of those games where he doesn't rush for a touchdown, and then you're like, not great. I agree with you, though. He traded Josh Dobbs. He traded Amon-Ra for Mike Evans, and I know Mike Evans is probably, I'm going to guess, wide receiver 9 on the year. Yeah, wow, wide receiver. I was thinking 12. I was thinking 9 might be too high, and don't get me wrong, Mike Evans has been good, like, fantasy-wise. Like, it's just he's not Amon-Ra. So it just feels like if you're trading Amon-Ra, who I would say all of us view Amon-Ra. I view Amon-Ra even close to, like, top 3 at this point, with no Jefferson and shit. Like, I might go Tyreek Hill, CD, or like the top 2, and then it could be Amon-Ra after that. Like, I feel like Amon-Ra is really, really fucking good. So you'd feel like with Amon-Ra, like if Mike would have texted me and been like, I will give you Amon-Ra for Justin Herbert, I would have been like, yeah. If he said, I'll give you Amon-Ra for Justin Herbert and like Garrett Wilson, I'd be like, yeah. So in my mind, I just think he could have gotten way more from Amon-Ra. That's how I feel. Like, who's your quarterback? I can't even. Is it Justin Fields?
Mine's Fields now. Yeah, I had Kyler Murray the week before.
If he had offered you Amon-Ra for Justin Fields, like if he offered you Amon-Ra for Justin Fields, and like, who's like your best wide receiver right now? Pittman. Yeah, if he offered you, I mean, I think you take that pretty easily, right?
Oh yeah.
And Justin Fields is like a good fantasy quarterback. Again, like, not saying this can't work out. Anything can work out in fantasy. I think the main thing is Kyle just got Amon-Ra for Mike. Kyle, especially from Kyle's perspective, Kyle basically traded Mike Evans for Amon-Ra St. Brown. So that's, to put that in perspective for you. For Kyle, it's an amazing trade. Like, the most amazing trade Kyle could have ever.
Well,
I know, right? It's wild that Josh Dobbs could net that, you know? Like, just thinking, like, I feel like every time I try to trade quarterbacks and I'm like, hey, I'd give you Justin Herbert, and they're like, yeah, I just don't want to give that. And Justin Herbert's the number 3 quarterback, and they're like, yeah, I can't give you more than like I can give you like Nico Collins, and it's like, no, not saying you did that, but they just, like, no one views quarterbacks like that. So Kyle should be thanking his lucky stars that he was able to get a top 3 wide receiver for a guy he was never going to play, and Mike Evans. Like, that's a crazy upgrade. Kyle immediately becomes the title favorite, right? Paul, would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul.
Yeah, the fact that Kyle now has like 3 of the top receivers, he's definitely on the skyrocketing to number 1 in my opinion.
Yeah, he doesn't have Amon-Ra yet, but yes, he will have CeeDee Lamb, Stephon Diggs, and Amon-Ra, 3 guys that are like at minimum top 5 wide receivers. So this is Kyle's year to win it all. Mike kind of as long as anything can happen in fantasy, but as long as anything can happen in fantasy, but Kyle, this is Kyle's title to lose. He's by far the best. If I had to make a tier list, he's S tier, Steve's probably A tier, and then the next tier is probably like Ryan and shit at like B. So Kyle is set up crazy. Great trade for Kyle. It could be a good trade for Mike too if Josh Dobbs keeps it up. Gorman adds Isaiah Likely because he lost Mark Andrews. Austin adds Zeke. Dave adds the Packers. Kyle adds Jaden Reed. Kyle adds Matt Gay. Kyle adds Derek Carr. Good Lord. No fucking way. Paul adds Quentin Johnston.
He's back.
Mike adds Jake Browning. I added the Jets defense. Paul added the Bucks defense, and Mike added Tommy DeVito. Okay, Mike's roster is crazy. So Mike
got quarterbacks out the ass.
Mike has Tommy DeVito, Jake Browning, and Josh Dobbs. So now I'm really wondering why Mike made that trade. If he picked up these motherfuckers, that means he doesn't feel good about Dobbs, right? The fuck
I
is
guess
going on
so.
right now?
He's going back to his draft day ways of
Yeah,
having
just
three
having a
quarterbacks.
shit ton of quarterbacks. That's wild, dude. Like the Vikings already had a bye, I think. Oh no, they don't. Okay, so that's why.
Oh,
Because
okay.
they have another bye week. All right, that makes a lot more sense. I was about to say. All right, let's take a look at the matchups this week. So right off the rip, rivalry matchup, me versus Paul. For anyone like wondering out there, Paul's the only team in the league in our league history that I have a sub 500 record against, and I'm in a must-win spot. I'm looking at Paul's team, and he's got great matchups, including Justin Fields on Monday night, and I'm not feeling good about it. Paul, 98 points projected has got to be the most points you've been projected
I
in a
was gonna say
while.
that's since like week 3 because I was used to be like 103 usually, and since I made those dumb trades, it's hasn't come close.
Yeah, so I'm not feeling good. If I had to pick an upset of the week, it would be Paul over me. Is the records might fool people 6-5 and 2-9, but Paul's lost like four straight games. He's been losing a lot of games recently. It's the same thing that when I played Dewey, like sometimes guys are just due for a big game. Um and they have the right matchups, and Paul has the right matchups. I mean, he has the Patriots defense against the fucking Giants, so that's not good. How are you feeling about this matchup, Paul?
I'm looking for revenge, dude. Look at that week 1 score, the Garrett Wilson Monday night. One
Yeah.
revenge.
Yeah, I'm not feeling good. I can't imagine I sweep you. The only time I ever swept you before was when my team was 12-2, and it was like the best team of freaking all time. Me and Steve like ran the league that year. Um, I'm not feeling great about it. And it would be a devastating loss for me. Chip plays Nick this week. Chip projected 111. Nick projected 96. I think Chip wins this pretty
Yeah,
easily.
I was gonna say Chip is might be getting back on track here. So
Yeah, because Lamar gets the Chargers Sunday night. That's going to be huge. Joe Mixon gets the piss Steelers with their shitty fucking defense. George Kittle is probably if I had to guess, Kittle's the tight end one since week 5. 26, 11,
going
19,
crazy.
19, 19. Like he's going to get shit ton out of them. Like it almost doesn't matter that Jalen Waddle sucks, because he got handed Joe Mixon, Brian Robinson, and DK Metcalf and George Kittle and Lamar Jackson on a silver platter. So, and they're projecting 13 points for Jamar Chase. He's got no quarterbacks. I can't imagine Chip loses that. Do you think Chip has any
Yeah,
chance of losing that? That might end
no,
up
he might
being
be my
my
guaranteed.
yeah.
He might be
That's
my lock.
we'll see. We'll see the other games, but that might be my guaranteed win of the week. Gorman versus Austin. This should be a good matchup. 8-3 versus
Whoa,
7-4.
Gorman's
Both
got,
East
but he
Division.
hasn't changed it. Never mind.
Yeah, Gorman hasn't set his lineup yet, so Gorman will be projected to win like 102-93 once he sets his lineup. How are you feeling about this? I think this is evenly matched. He's got a lot of question marks next to guys, which is kind of scary. I think it'll be evenly matched.
Yeah, once Gorman gets his shit figured out and enters in the right guys, I think he's got this locked in. Austin might not hit 100.
Gorman looking for revenge too. Last time he lost 84-64. It looks like so.
Ooh.
Yeah, revenge game for the Gormeister. I wonder if Nick and Chip have played. Last time Nick and Chip played, Chip won 89-61. So everyone's looking
Revenge.
for revenge. Yeah, everyone's looking for revenge today. That might be the theme of this week's episode. Ooh, a long time rivalry, man. The two guys that have been running the West. Dave and Steve have been running the West for as long as this league's been alive. Last time they played, Steve won 121-105. Right now, Dave is projected to win 107-105. This is going to be a fun one. This is going to be close.
Yeah, this is huge for Dave.
Yeah, this is massive for Dave. Dave in a must win. Steve, a win would be nice, I guess.
Trying to keep that number 1 seed. Kyle wins, he might be close.
I think Dave has the right matchups to win this one. I think Hurts is going to go off against Buffalo. I think Josh Jacobs can do well against KC. Kamara, Atlanta's pretty tough. I think I'm just going to say it right now. Tyreek Hill versus the Jets on Black Friday. Like, I think Tyreek's scoring 30 points. I think that Dave's going to win this one. I think Dave's going to get his revenge. I don't know if that's me speaking from like historically this matchup being close. Like, I can't imagine Steve 2-0s Dave in a season, but what do you think?
Yeah, I'd have to go with Dave here. I'm hoping for the tight playoff race at the end of it, so I'm rooting for Dave in this one.
I'm not rooting for a tight playoff race, but I think Dave's gonna win that one. Losing Kenneth Walker for Steve is pretty huge. Dewey versus Kyle. Now this is a rivalry. This is a rivalry. I think Kyle's gonna win, even though because so last time they played, Kyle won 103-80. I think Kyle's gonna win because his team is just so on fire lately. But I think Dewey's gonna surprise some people. Like I would take Dewey plus 15. I think it's gonna be close, but I think Kyle wins.
Yeah, and plus they'll have Amon-Ra's probably projected 15 or so, so we'll have
Oh
a few
yeah.
more points.
Yeah, so actually
But
we can get that line at like plus what is
yeah,
it, plus 15 now, so we can probably get that
17.
at plus like 18 oh wait,
Yeah.
is Mike Evans, yeah, Mike Evans is like 12.7. Yeah, we can get that. Taking Dewey plus 17, but Kyle wins this one. I'm
Oh yeah, for sure.
not too worried. Kyle lost last week too, so he got his shit game out of his system. He should be fine this week for a win, a bounce back win. Ooh, rivalry time again. Okay, a lot of rivalries this week. So we got
This is revenge.
Me and Paul rivalry. Does Chip have a rival? I don't know if Chip does.
I guess Kyle.
No, because Kyle's rival is Dewey.
Oh.
So my rival's Paul. We have so it's just me and Paul playing, Steve and Dave playing. It's funny that those two matchups, like me and you have run our division for a while. Steve and Dave have run theirs, so like those matchups being in the same week is pretty good. Ryan and Mike, man, this is a classic.
Yeah.
So Mike hasn't
Week
set his
one.
line. Mike has set his line. No, he hasn't. Okay, he still has Joe Burrow in. I think Ryan handles Mike, but it's a rivalry game. Anything can happen. Last time Mike won 77-76 when Ryan got a Josh Allen piss class against the Jets. So
yep. And now he's projected 77 again. It could happen.
Yeah. You're right. He's projected 77.32. That's actually what he scored then is 77.3. So Ryan,
this class from Josh Allen's incoming.
Yeah, Ryan is looking for some damn revenge right now. This is going to be a good game. I think Ryan's going to pull it off unless there's some Josh Dobbs magic in the air.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this one.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got players on Monday night too, because he's got Madison and DJ Moore, and he's gonna have Dobbs, dude. Mike's gonna have some Monday night shenanigans going on. This is actually gonna be so fucking fun. Do you have any guaranteed locks of the week? I'm gonna say mine is Chip over Nick. You can have the same one.
I'm gonna, because the fact that Jamar Chase could be Nick's whole team, but the fact that Burrow's out now, it's just not looking great for him.
Yeah. Do you have an upset of the week? Because my upset is I'm gonna pick you as upset of the week.
As crazy as it might sound, I might go with Dewey over Kyle.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good upset too. Like I think Kyle's gonna win, but he's won 3 straight. If Kyle goes into that, with his guard down, he could easily lose that. So a rivalry week. Rivalry week is here and upon us. This matches up with college football rivalry week because the Buckeyes play Michigan like Alabama, Auburn. So I like this. All right, so rivalry week. This is rivalry week in real life. This is rivalry week.
What'd you say? Saying it. Fuck it. That commercial, the rivalry week, and they say it like some weird way, and they like can't talk anymore. Like after they say it. You ever seen that?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, they say it over and over, and anytime I hear rivalry week, I think I can't even say it.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, so our rivalry week syncs up with real life rivalry week, and everyone pay attention. The playoff push is here. A lot of teams in must wins. A lot of teams trying to play for that number 1 seed as well. So anything can happen. And Paul, you got anything else to say to the fans?
I don't think so. I'm about to go bowling, though. This is going to be crazy.
All right, Paul's going to go bowling, and Kyle's going to win a championship this year. And with that, I think we're ready to sign off. How's that sound, Paul?
Yep. Until next week.
Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Let's ride.